What you focus on.
There you
right? So
go.
I always say, you start doing this now. If it's a side income, if it's a full income, you record it, you report it, because that will help you to establish yourself, right? And not
Right.
just on a social security end, but what if you decide, okay, I want to get a car loan, and you have to show your income. So this shows that you've been generating income from your business, right? And the
And you
whole
know
goal.
what?
Mhm.
I'm happy you said that, Kendria. I'm happy you brought up the perspective of filing because what a lot of people don't understand, what you just said, when you go ahead and have a side business or you have, you're an independent contractor, people not realizing that you're paying into your Social Security, Medicare. If you don't have that, right, and say like if you get disabled or you're a certain age or you hurt yourself, is disability, there's difference, and I don't know everything, but I do know some. There's different levels to Social Security benefits, right? So, but when you pay into it, you're gonna receive like a certain dollar amount. But if you have never paid into it before, then you're only getting a small fixed amount, and a lot of people don't know this. So, we're telling you this today, so we're bringing the education because these are
Yeah.
things that people
Yes.
don't know. You know what I'm saying? And
Yes.
then, you don't want to have a record, but let me tell you this too, right? Let me put something in perspective to you. And Kendria, I'm happy you mentioned the single mom. If you are a single mom, and you are head of your household and you're the
Hmm.
only one that's driving that in, guess what? You're worrying about, "Oh, I can't report my side hustle." You're not realizing you have dependents. And because you have dependents, you will qualify to lower your tax reductions. And then you will also get credits what will help you get a return.
Hmm.
That is
Yes.
something that you don't know. So, we're giving you these jewels, we're dropping you nuggets. Let me tell you something. Like Kendra and I both said, we have our specialties, but then we also have other areas where we're knowledgeable in that we do this on a daily basis. And what is that? That's business development.
That is correct. Business development. And it's a continuous process. It doesn't
Absolutely.
end. It does not end because, your business is an organic baby. I mean, it's just going to keep growing. And the more you learn and the more you put into your growth is the more your business will grow. Because your business will grow as much as you put into it. I've seen people start businesses and did nothing with it.
Yes. It is
You know,
sitting there.
it's just sitting there, you know? So, I mean, that's okay. I mean, if that's what you want to do, that's great. But for me, I always believe in action. Action is what makes it move forward. You know, that's what knowledge is. You have knowledge, but it's nothing without action. So the education that, I started with, to get into the tax business, I had to take a tax workshop, right? They would not hire me because I had bookkeeping experience. No, I had to literally take this course because I had to have that education.
Absolutely.
And TurboTax would not hire, they don't hire you unless you have experience, at least 3 years experience,
Right.
right? Because they know you have the education. Because to maintain your tax preparer ID, you have to have the education every year, right? So, um, our workshop that we have with our tax business is so specialized that it helps you to understand the foundation first, because you got to have a foundation, right?
Absolutely.
And because adults learn differently, we have to specialize and personalize,
Right.
right? Personalize. So we start off with giving you a general knowledge of the foundation of taxes, because there are different types of taxes, but we focus on income taxes, right? And then if you want to specialize, right, because there are people who specialize in real estate taxes, right? I have clients who have Airbnbs. I have clients who have rental properties, commercial or residential, right? I don't know real estate, but I pick their brains and I know certain things, but I'm not an expert. But if you need someone in real estate, I know who to go to. I can point you to the right direction because they're specialized.
Right. Oh, you said something so profound, and I want to elaborate on this too. It goes back to collaboration and partnerships. right? So if you have a certain business, let's just say taxes because we're talking about taxes. If you have someone that specializes in doing individuals, right? But then you know someone who specializes in businesses, that is a great time to come together with that person because guess what? When you collaborate with one and you know you have your own specialty, that's going to bring in and draw in more business. So thank you for saying that, Kendria. And also too, if I'm correct, Kendria, because I know you're talking about your workshop is designed for people who have an interest to learn more about the tax field. Like these are
Yes.
people who want to go more into this lane, you know, and learn more about it because they kind of have a feel for it. They kind of like it. They need some guidance. They're not sure, but if I'm correct, your school is providing the tools and systems that's necessary that they need to go ahead and get their feet wet in this industry, correct?
That is correct. Because our organization, we provide personal income tax services for individuals and businesses, right? And because we are taxpayers ourselves, we encourage people to learn this tax system because you're going to have to do it for the rest of your life, right? So not everyone is, like I said, not everyone can do this. Not everything is for everyone, right? So not everyone is going to want to learn how the tax system works. They'd rather to have a tax professional like myself to do this for them.
Absolutely.
However, there are people who feel slighted by the system or they want to know because they just came into this country or interested in learning, whatever their interests are, or they want to start their own tax business, right? You the interest are, varies. But once you come to our workshop and you encounter our organization, you'll understand basically where you want to go because taxes is so vast. And because we specialize, we'll be able to determine, okay, once you take the first workshop, then you'll know where you want to go. Do you want to go into helping low income people with the earn income credit? Do you want to go into real estate, helping people with real estate? Do you want to go into cryptocurrency? There are so many different areas. So our organization helps you to first get that foundation because we need that foundation. And then once you have that foundation, then we branch off because it's specialized. You have to specialize.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And that's the key thing too. You getting your feet wet of knowing the basic information, but then diversifying into that specialty. Because if you think about it from the beginning, what was the key thing that we said? What is your area of expertise? People need you. So when you decide to go ahead and focus on that area, people will know where to go.
Yes.
But you got to get the foundation down pat. And I was going to go back and piggyback because I know we're running out of time. I'm going to piggyback. You said something to the extent of, business owners just learning a little bit. It's okay for business owners just to get the foundation of where to start in your taxes, just to know the basics. You know what I'm saying? I didn't say you have to go ahead and do your own tax return because listen, after a while, you don't want that. You rather pay someone because as you're increasing in different levels, you're going to change on filing your taxes on a Schedule C, which is part of your individual taxes, to advance and to go ahead and schedule on a corporation taxes. Those are two different brackets, two different ball games. But that's where it takes someone to come in, like Kendria and myself, to say, okay, it's time for you to do this because now you have succeeded and it's time to take scale your business to the next level.
Yes. Scale. Because
Yeah,
that's the whole point is to start and to grow.
absolutely.
Yes. Yeah. So yeah, the tax workshop is ideal for anyone, whether you just want to, see what it's all about, or you just want to get your discount, right? When you file your tax returns with us, right? Whichever is your pleasure. Um, but the tax workshop is, it's in depth, once we, get past the tax law. I will, you'll learn what it means if a person has to file a tax return or not, and you'll learn, who's a dependent. And that's always a touchy subject. Your neighbor or your landlord or your tenant's daughter is not your child dependent. It's not your dependent. Okay. So FYI, no. There are different types of dependent. There's children and there's other dependents. So we dive into that. We dive into the different types of income because, there's taxable income and there's non-taxable income.
Absolutely.
Right. And how does Social Security affect your income? So when I talk to people who are, I would say, over 55, we have a different conversation because they're thinking about retiring and
Right.
stop working, right? Some people want to stop working. Some people want to continue to work. So for people who want to continue to work, right, more money, more taxes. Because once you retire and you're getting that income from Social Security and you're still working, right, your tax bracket goes up because now you got
Yeah.
two sources of income. Before, when you were working, you only had your paycheck, right? Depending on your paycheck, it all depends. I always say it depends because we're talking
Absolutely.
about figures here, right? And now you get Social Security and you're still working, right? So you're still getting that salary, and then you get Social Security, right? Your tax bracket is going to go up. Now you're going to pay more taxes. And those are the conversations that we have. Are you going to still work or are you going to retire? Budget. How are you going to manage? You know, um, Different things. We go into, the tax credits. There were new tax credits that was released in 2022 for energy efficiency for vehicles and for homes. So tax credits, they change. There are new ones. Some of them phase out. So being knowledgeable and staying up to date on what is going on with the Internal Revenue Code, because there's so many different codes. It changes all the time. Being up to date is actually critical. To your survival. Financially here, because if you're not filing your taxes, and you're working, the best believe you're going to get a love letter from the IRS, and it all depends on how much you
Absolutely.
earn as well. Right. So from 2012, if you've been working, they're going to send you a love letter if they haven't already. Right. Because they know. And, we don't go against the system. We work with the system. Right. So that's why we do our education. Right. And we do this every single year, every single year. So there are people who say, I don't want to do this, Lady K. I don't want to have to deal with the IRS. You deal with this. I'll sign whatever you need. I'll pay whatever you need. I'm not doing it. And there are people like myself, ourselves, who are like, okay, we want to, know what it is that we can do to fix this. Because,
Right.
it's not nice getting a letter from the IRS saying that you owe for employer taxes from 2000 and how long, when that business is gone or you sold it.
Right.
Right. So, having that education is so important. And that's why for us, we do the tax workshops. We do our training because we know things change and everyone's situation is not the same. It's not the same. So the tax workshop, if you're a business owner and you want to understand more about the accounting part of it, the bookkeeping, those requirements, that will be great for you because we specialize in that as well. So if your business is a LLC, which means you file your taxes on a Schedule C, excuse me, or if your business is an S corp or C corp,
Right.
right? So all of those things, you still need that education, and it just never ends because without the education, you will not grow. Because if the IRS changes a different law, you're still going to be using the old one.
Absolutely. You're right
That's
about that.
detrimental. And that's detrimental. And you know what? I'm gonna just, for example, I have experience in human services, not just taxes, right? Like you said, two businesses. So I have a home care agency and I specialize in adults, but because of my experience, I also interact with daycare centers, right? Because it's still human services.
Right.
Um, so they have specific forms that they generate to providers to use, just like with the IRS, right? They have those forms that we use. And if it's outdated, like the W-4, for example, right? They change that often, not too often, but they did change it, I would say last year or the year before, right? And if you're using the form from 2017, you're on the wrong form, honey. Right? And that's what it is in business. So if you're using that old knowledge, right? And they updated this 2023 and you're still using 2017, oh my goodness, you're so far behind.
Absolutely.
Right? So
You're
the
right
daycare,
about that.
right? We were at the inspection and she had the old forms. And the inspector, she's like, these are the new forms. And, at first people would be like, no, I already have it. But hey, let me take a look and see. Wait a minute. This is new. This is not the same one. Thank you so much for providing this information. Right? So now I'm updated. Now I can take that old one and make sure I'm filling in the gaps, because when the inspector comes in, they're going to be looking for the new stuff. I'm on the old thing. And if I don't pass, guess what? Business is gone. Can't take any more kids. Right? So it's being on the new stuff, being up to date with the new thing. You can't stay with the old. You won't grow with the old. In Jamaica, we have a saying, the old broom or the new broom sweeps clean, but the old broom knows the corner. Oh, they know all them corners, all right. And them corners, what's in the corners? Cobwebs, dust,
Does. Absolutely.
right? So the new broom gonna sweep it clean, all right? So that new broom gonna get in that corner and sweep it clean. And that's what new knowledge does to your brain, right? And it does that to your business, right? It brings it in. So if you start, I don't know, what new business are we starting this week? What new registrations we have that's coming up? Trying to think, but okay, oils, for example. Someone just texted me. I just saw literally something with oils, right? So if you're going to start an oil business, right, you know that there are regulations with that. Okay, so if the regulations change and you're still on the old one, you're going to be, and there's a recall, you're still going to be selling the old ones, and you could, get your clients, a reaction or something of the sort.
Right.
For instance, but I think I've emphasized the point of education.
Absolutely.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
yes, yeah. So, it acquiring specialized knowledge is important for your success. And I just want to say this, in closing, acquiring specialized knowledge is important for your success, but it
Absolutely.
doesn't start or stop with one course, right? It is a continuous process, because as your business grows, you will also grow or not based on your application of the knowledge.
Absolutely. Kendria, thank you so much. Yo, let me tell you something. Even my head is spinning, okay? I'm pretty sure that people out there like, oh, they just dropping all the jewels. Yes, we are. So I hope everyone gains something from this. But Kendria, before we go, can you please give people your website, your KDE website?
So my website is www.kdefinancialgroup.com. And you can send us a message directly from our website, and we'll respond to you within 24 to 48 hours, because we know that when it comes to your business, you need immediate response. If it's the weekend, we definitely will respond. Weekdays, definitely, but www.kdefinancialgroup.com.
And if I'm correct, on that website, there's more information about your tax workshop, correct?
Yes, there is more information on our tax workshop and the other services that we provide. So it's not just taxes. Insurance is an important part of our everyday life. Okay.
Absolutely. And I'm gonna
Yeah.
go back to what I said before. This is business development and tax is
Yes.
part of it.
Yes.
So
Absolutely. Yes.
Kendria, I thank you for everything that you shared today. We're all running out of time, so we do have to go. But I thank you for the knowledge and the jewels that you have dropped today.
Thank you for having
Everyone, listen, if this was helpful, I need you to put in the comments helpful. Not even that, I need you to like. And if you have not subscribed, subscribe and share this with someone, because someone that you know, they need to hear this information. It doesn't matter where they fall out on the business spectrum. Listen, somebody can use some type of services. So I
Yes.
appreciate you. Continue to tune in here every Tuesday at 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And you can always reach our website as well too at www.ladyk, and K is spelled Kay, enterprisesinc.com. Thank you, everyone, and have a fabulous night.
Lady K.